I'm Bishop Porter with Cast and Crew Presents, and this is Beyond the Budget. Today I'm joined by Brad Field, a production accountant with nearly a decade of experience on several projects, including his work as a second assistant on Bird Box and Knives Out, and a first assistant on the Book of Boba Fett. He's worked across budgets and platforms, including MediaWeb and PSL Plus. We'll talk about his path from the U.S. military to production accounting and much more. Hi, Brad.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great.
Okay, so we have to start out with your path to production accounting, because one thing I love about this business is everybody has a different story. It's such like a crazy world of people who got here by a friend, family member, or knew about the business, or something just completely off the wall. And I feel like yours is like one of the best ones. So tell us how you went from the U.S. military to production accounting.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. My story happened in Detroit, Michigan, when they still had the incentive. So I was in the military for 12 years.
Okay.
At the time, I was in the National Guard towards the end of my career. And then I was working like a full-time National Guardsman. I was a training NCO working in the office. Mm-hmm. Setting up training sites, doing a lot of like troop movements to different schools and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of moving pieces, and not unlike any like running a production for a film.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Which you don't realize till you get on the production side and you're like, these are really similar.
Yeah. Long story short, my job wrapped up with that. I was looking for work. I heard about a listing through a friend through the VA that there was a movie shooting in Detroit. Didn't know what it was at the time. And they were just looking for somebody to kind of do like fill a security role. So I applied to it, found out that movie was Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Kind of a big deal for the Detroit area, especially for somebody like me who like, loved movies growing up. I was younger at the time, superhero movies. It was pretty awesome. I applied to it, got the job. Essentially what that job was a confidentiality coordinator, dealing with those movies with like Warner Brothers, and Marvel was really big at the time too. They wanted to protect the intellectual property. Set photos, storylines, stuff like that for the characters, Superman, Batman, all that kind of stuff. So my job on that was to build a team of guys to essentially police up the crew and make sure they weren't taking photos. We would take crew cell phones. Nothing was going to leak to the media. Just so happened I put together a team of like 6 or 7 veterans. I believe we got a tax break for the veterans too. So that's kind of a bonus on top of it, which might have been why they were reaching out through the VA in the first place.
Yeah.
So I did that on Batman, and then that went well. That was for about a year. And then that's how I initially fell into the film industry.
Okay. That's so cool that your experience could parlay into something else totally different. But yet, I mean, I get it. I remember I came up in the business in Louisiana, and Baton Rouge at the time, the Twilight movies were shooting there. And the paparazzi and the fans of Twilight, and they were always trying to figure out where they were shooting or what the next location was and trying to keep it locked down, and people would always find out. So I get that. It's an important role.
I mean, that was the biggest thing, everything from fake nicknames to, whatever. Really just trying to throw everybody off, especially in somewhere like Detroit where there's not a lot going on. Well, back then there was, and Detroit's it's a really cool place now. But anyways, there was a lot of abandoned warehouses and places we were shooting. There was not a lot of people, not a lot of populace. So whenever we did show up, it was very much like, hey, what's going on? And then once they found out it was like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all this stuff, it was like, whoa.
And then the Batmobile.
The Batmobile going down the street.
That'll tip you off quickly. Okay, so you did that.
So I did that, and then I was lucky enough after that to kind of find my footing in that, and then knew a couple people at Warner Brothers. I was offered the job on Suicide Squad for the next movie, and that was like almost another year in Toronto.
Okay.
Did that as well. After that happened, I thought I was going to try to do Justice League, but then that ended up going to London, so there wasn't a position for me on that one.
Right.
Had to figure out something to do.
Right.
So now I'm 2 years in, or essentially like a year and a half into the film industry, kind of now that I've broken into this, out of the military completely. I know I want to stay in this space, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I had met my now wife. I met her on Batman. We continued to work on Suicide Squad together as well. I was out of work. She was working for a producer at the time that was doing a movie in Boston. So it's like, hey, do you want to go out to Boston for the summer, hang out? Yeah, sure. Whatever. Well, I think she got tired of me just sitting around. So she talked the accounting department into seeing if they needed any help as a, whatever.
Can you give my boyfriend a job?
I think it was more like that. Yeah. She was trying to find everybody on set. Like, my boyfriend needs a job. Somebody please give him a job.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm just trotting around Boston this summer having a grand time.
Catching some Red Sox games or I don't know.
Yeah. Love Fenway. Yeah. So I ended up, the accountant at the time, they said, we need somebody to do some data entry. They were dealing with merchant vendors, which now we're getting to the accounting talk. I don't know if anybody knows about that. In certain incentive states, every time somebody goes to a Starbucks, a McDonald's, anything like that, for merchants, vendors, we have to input that data into the system. The entire time you're on a shoot for a summer, if they go to 20 different Starbucks, that's 20 different vendors.
Right.
So you can see how that's a lot of data entry.
Yeah. That must have been before we were doing P cards, or there's got to be an easier way to upload that stuff.
This is mainly just for petty cash.
There you go.
That's how I kind of came in, and they said, hey, we need a clerk to come in and just input all these different receipts. That was it. I was going to work for a couple weeks, and that was going to be the end of it. It all became really easy to me. Like I found it really simple. Maybe it was just all of the different organizational skills I'd picked up earlier as like a training NCO or doing all this stuff.
I mean, the data entry and the administrative part is a huge part of accounting, but it's also all the moving pieces. Where do things go? Taking the chaos and kind of organizing it, which I'm sure was a lot of your previous role.
Oh, being organized is a huge part of it. Yeah. And really just like the attention to detail,
Which you can't make mistakes in the military. You can't make mistakes in accounting.
No, you can't. No, you can't unpost things.
So that's how you got a clerk job, and then did another second assistant job come shortly thereafter?
So I kind of ended up just staying on that movie. The movie was Detroit, 1969, I think it was called. So I ended up staying on that one, and then going into post there, the accountant actually bumped me to a second.
Okay.
Because I think she really liked, what I was doing, and
what's not to like?
It came simple. So I was lucky enough to just kind of stay on that, right? And then my summer in Boston was ruined. No, just kidding.
No more baseball games?
No more baseball games, too much work.
Rats.
No, it was a good time. I did that movie, and then like a month later, the same accountant asked me to do another one with her, and then it just started rolling.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, that's kind of how it works out for a lot of people. You do a good job, you show up, solid work, and if it works, they're going to take you with the next one if they can. So were you still in Michigan? Was that your home base, or were you thinking about moving to LA at that time?
After Batman, I was thinking about moving to LA because, again, the girlfriend at the time, she was from here. So I was thinking about moving back here with her. But then when we got Suicide Squad, we went to Toronto. And then after that, it was like, okay, now like I'm invested.
Yeah.
So, and then that's when... we moved back to LA. It's funny you say that because now after we moved back to LA, I still went on location to Atlanta.
That's what happens too.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of my situation. I came up in the business in Louisiana for many years, and then I decided to move to LA, and I moved here and then immediately went on the road for a year and a half. So it's kind of what happens.
The first movie I actually did in California was Bird Box. And I think that I had been an accountant for 2 years at that point already.
Was that when you were a first assistant on that one?
Bird Box, I was a second assistant. I was kind of the key second.
Okay, got it. And did that shoot in LA?
It did.
Was that during COVID?
No. What year was that? That was before. That was, wow, this is old now, 2017?
I just remember Sandra Bullock running around with that eye mask thing on.
Yes.
I guess it was COVID. She would have had this mask on.
No, we shot about 3/4 that here, and then we had a unit up in northern Michigan in the Redwoods. That's where they did all the stuff in the river, if you remember the movie. So that's all shot up there. But yeah, all California.
Okay, so tell us, so you did those were big studio features. You're working your way up. You haven't been a lead accountant yet. And a lot of people want to know, how do you jump? They've been a second for many years. They've been a first for many years. They want to jump up. And I know a lot of times accountants will bring them on and say, I'll train you on cost reporting. I'll train you on budgeting. I'll help you on this show. It'll be easy. We'll get it done. And then inevitably, train leaves the station. It's crazy, and you're not able to train.
The workload's too much. Yep. You can't really.
So sometimes people say, well, you need to go back and take a smaller budget show, do a indie, do something, and just jump in both feet first and figure out the accounting piece. So I feel like that's the route you took. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Kind of, yeah. Just jumping into new experience.
Yeah, because the last couple of years have been really indies for you, right?
Yeah, they have been. The last studio feature I did was... I was in Kamaya, Good Fortune.
Yeah. Okay.
I did that, yep. With Lionsgate.
Yep.
Here in California, here in LA.
Yeah.
And after that, it was kind of slow for a while. Not really a lot going on. I got a call from one of my old roommates that's in the business. And he goes, hey, I'm going to New Jersey. I'm shooting a really low budget. Don't hang up the phone. Let's talk about it. Do you want to be the accountant?
Low budget.
Yeah. And I was like, man, yeah, I really don't know. Like I really haven't done, that's not really my world, blah, blah, blah. Because you're right. To that point, I've only been firsting. Mm-hmm. I'd done a couple additional photography, like aerial units and stuff like that for a couple of the Jason Statham movies. But again, that's only like 3 or 4 days. Aerial units, like $200,000, right?
Right.
Big.
But it still has a separate budget. And it's
all the same. No, it's all the same. Yeah, the budget. I mean, every one of these, like the budgets are all the same. They're broken out the same. The format's the same. It's just where the money's at, right?
Yeah.
How big's your ATL?
Yeah.
Anyways, so my buddy calls me. Do you want to do this? Blah, blah. I wasn't working at the time. So I said, yeah, let's try it. And that ended up being this movie called Stranglehold. Not coming out yet. It seems pretty exciting. Decent sized cast for a small movie.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited about that.
And that was in New Jersey.
That was when I was in New Jersey.
And I'm sure that meant incentive and tagging and all with that. So I know you've had a lot of experience, Georgia, Louisiana, and New Jersey. How has incentive, has that been problematic? Is it just a matter of learning the different rules in the different places?
Really just learning, again, going back to attention to detail.
Yeah.
Anytime you start one of these incentive movies, you will have, normally, I mean, you'll have a meeting with the state, or you will choose an auditor. Now they have these third-party auditors that will handle everything for you. And so you'll have a meeting with them first, and they'll tell you exactly what you need, what you can tag. You'll get the outline of everything. So as long as you pay attention to that kind of stuff, it's pretty simple. And then for the most part, a lot of the incentives, it's all pretty much down and dirty the same stuff, what qualifies and what doesn't, right? At the end of the day, it's what is the state going to pay for? So it's all kind of the same.
So again, attention to detail, knowing the rules, how it is, and then just making sure nothing changes. You're doing it right from the get.
Yeah. Your biggest things you're looking at is your ATL. A lot of different states depends on what money they're going to give you, like our actor's going to qualify, that kind of stuff. Right. But for the most part, it's like anywhere you go to, a brick and mortar inside the state, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah. I know the ATL, that was a big sticking point in a lot of negotiations with different film offices because ATL, meaning above the line payroll. So like your lead actors, your Tom Cruise is always the example, maybe getting $10 million for his role in the movie. But how much of that is really going to qualify towards the incentive? And most states cap it.
If any of it.
Yeah.
Some states don't
even offer it all. Yeah. Well, so you did that movie in New Jersey, first time keying, low budget, and you survived. You're here to tell the tale.
Yeah.
What'd you learn on that one that you didn't already know?
I've always had a payroll accountant do a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And I always helped on the side, or I've done what I can. Like I know how to do payroll. I know the basics of payroll. But then actually doing it myself, because I was the only person on that, doing everything. We used media services on that one, and the paymasters were great.
Great. Love to hear that.
So they helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because we started that show non-union, as a lot of these small ones do, and we flipped.
Yeah.
So the paymasters were great in that aspect. And Absolutely. Especially when you have somebody like that where we brought a lot of people in. A lot of those people were from LA and they were working over in New Jersey. So there's a lot of home plans, stuff like that. So,
yeah, all the technicalities.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good. So that was media services. So you used MediaWeb.
Yes.
And I know you've had more experience with that on the indies. What do you like about MediaWeb that works for you?
It's different than a lot of the other platforms because it's web-based, obviously, right? So everything is just like real quick in real time, which I will say has its advantages and disadvantages.
Like anything.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing really inherently wrong with that model of it. Sometimes you're at the whim of the internet, though.
Sure.
But I mean, nowadays everything is too. With MediaWeb, I do love the cost reporting aspect of it. That it is all web based. It works in real time. It's a living spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Whereas PSL is not, but it has. I understand why. Like the model that PSL was for so long. Like I understand why it's not.
Yep. And that's why you have different providers or different softwares for different size projects. What works, and they all have their pros and cons. Yeah. Okay, so you did that, and then what? You came back to LA. Was that before or after the strikes?
That was after the strikes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
During the strikes, I was out in Hawaii for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I was working on. I don't think it's down there, but I was on NCIS for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Hawaii, but that was all during the strikes.
Yeah, I'm sure that was on hold.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you done since Stranglehold?
So Stranglehold, we did that last year. I did another additional photography shoot for Jason Statham movie. And then this past summer, which I'm actually just wrapping up now, I did another small movie called The Steel Harp.
Great.
Which was shot here in California.
Yes.
Used media services.
Yes.
MediaWeb again.
I believe so. I did a little matchmaking on that.
Yeah.
I knew the line producer that I've longtime friend and colleague with. She had reached out. She needed an accountant for that. And I was like, Brad would be perfect.
She's great too.
Okay, well, if I can, tell me a little bit about your wife. So she's a UPM, production supervisor?
She's a production supervisor, been UPMing a little bit for the last year or so.
Okay.
She was a production supervisor on a lot of the Star Wars shows, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Boba Fett. So she was kind of riding that train for a while.
Sure. She's
diving into the indie world as well.
Great.
And she's doing a lot of budgeting and
So can y'all work together? Are you a couple that can work together?
We can. I keep referencing these additional photography Stathams. We do those together.
Okay. So she comes in there screaming to you, the budget's not right. You told me I had this much money.
It's interesting working from home where we have our two separate offices and she just screams at me from the other room. You messed this up. No, I'm just kidding.
I've worked with a lot of husband-wife teams over the years, and it was always just amazing to me, like that you can go to work and work all day and then go home. I'm like, when do you not talk about work? But some of them, especially if they had kids or family, it's just like you're tag teaming everything together anyway. It's your team outside the home, in the home. It just helps. So I get it.
We met on Batman. And even our jobs on that, like I was the confidentiality coordinator.
Yeah.
She was the production secretary in that, but she would always be the one passing us information for my department. So I mean, we shared a trailer even on that movie, and then shared a trailer on Suicide. Like yeah,
you're gonna know.
We've worked very closely together for the last 10 years.
That's a good trial run, sharing a trailer together.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the part of the show when we're going to do a quiz segment. I don't know if I warned you that we were going to have a quiz. So, this is just to see what you remember from your 10 plus years in the business. All right, question 1. What city is quarantined and overrun by zombies in Army of the Dead? What city?
It's Vegas.
Yeah.
There
ding,
we
ding,
go.
Ding. Okay. In Renfield, what is the titular character's supernatural power source?
Cockroaches.
Bugs. Insects.
Yes.
Gross. Okay, last question. What is the name of the global organization that governs the rules of the assassin underworld in John Wick?
Oh, my gosh.
The name of the global organization. The
hotel's the Continental, right? I can't remember. You got me.
Answer is the High Table.
The High Table.
All right. You did okay.
I knew that.
Back to the other questions. Okay, well, a lot of people ask us, one, how they get in the business. I feel like it's luck, connections, networking, hard work. What would you tell somebody that's just trying to get their foot in the door?
I mean, if you're really serious about it and you really just want to get in, just PAing, do whatever you can, be a set PA, and then really just get to know everybody. Network how you can. I mean, this might sound terrible, but I think a lot of people kind of pass up work because they think it's beneath them. But I mean, if you're really trying to get in this industry, and you got to do the hard jobs,
Yeah.
If you want to just get on a film set and you want to be a PA, you're gonna have to sit on a corner for 12 hours in the sun.
That's being a PA. That's
what
the
being
job.
a PA is.
Yeah.
But with the idea of that, if you work hard enough, you're not going to be doing it for your entire life, right?
Right.
So I mean, really, that's it. And then a lot of these states now, they have websites too set up where you can just kind of reach out to and they'll get you in. And like I said, I was lucky enough just to go through the VA,
right?
Which is really
that just says use your resources. There are resources available to you. I know the film offices in most states, they've all started programs to try to get people in accounting in particular, but they have other training opportunities. IATSE has a training program here in California. When I was in Louisiana, they had a program to try to get people involved. So there are resources out there. You just got to use your network and seek them out.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. I forgot about that. Like Workforce and there's a couple other ones too here in California. But a lot of interns now I'm seeing.
Yeah. And I feel you too. I think for me, I had done a job a long time and then COVID happened and kind of threw a wrench in my plans. And I took a job that I was a little bit different from what I had been doing, but I took it knowing that it would be a short-term thing and I was going to learn something new. And that was going to help me out in the long run. Like, and I think sometimes, like you said, taking a job that you might think is beneath you, like if you're trying to go in one direction, you never know what you're going to learn, who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
What you're going to learn something.
Yeah. And with that being said, I'm not saying that you don't do a job where you're being taken advantage of.
Oh, of course
but
not.
I'm just, don't always think that, you're not going to rise to the top in a day.
Yeah.
So
it takes a lot of hard work.
Don't be afraid to be a hard worker.
Yeah.
That's what I'm, Maybe it's the military.
That sounds like the military guy. I love it.
Yeah.
And then would you say there was anything kind of in your career, if you're looking back, that where there was a shift for you where you felt like, oh, I've hit my stride, or do you feel like you're still kind of grinding it out a little bit?
This is definitely different now, doing the king part of it. Mm-hmm. As a second, for years, it's just get in, head down, paperwork.
Yeah.
Type away. As a key now, like handling a lot of different things. This is definitely more challenging, but it's more enjoyable. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Problem
solving in a different way, I guess.
I also feel like I'm more part of the conversations, obviously.
Yeah. You're closer to the creative action.
Yes.
Talking to producers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing on the accounting side. You're right. It's not creative. This side of it now it's a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I'm going to have just a quick other rapid fire Brad Phil question. It's just about you. I ask everybody the same 5 questions. 1, your go-to crafty snack.
Apples.
Really?
Yeah. If they look good.
Yeah, not Roddy.
Yeah.
Roddy Asa.
Yeah.
2, favorite department to work with besides accounting, obviously, as your people.
I should say production because of my wife, but props.
Really?
Yeah.
Why props?
That's the one that when I was before accounting, I was trying to get into props.
Yeah.
Mainly, I wanted to be a armorer.
Oh,
weapons, military.
That
made
tracks.
Sense.
That could have been a natural segue for you, besides the confidentiality.
The confidentiality, yeah. That after the confidentiality stuff was done, that's what I was. That was kind of the path I was looking to do.
3, which department nails their paperwork the most?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, paperwork.
Probably production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the closest to accounting as far as moving things along.
They're also, normally you work in a lot of the same space, so it's a lot easier for communications.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the departments on set are always, because they're moving so fast, and it's fine. Like, I understand, like they're moving so fast and doing all these things that a lot of times they don't have a dedicated person for the paperwork.
Right.
So stuff gets left in the cracks.
Yeah. Or it's costumes and like, well, we're going to return some of this, so we don't want to turn it in the POs
yet. The old cachet when they blow through their budget in the first 2 weeks, and well, it's all going to be returned.
Been there, done that. Okay. Have you ever been totally starstruck on set or otherwise? Actor, producer, could be a director.
Not totally starstruck. One of the coolest ones was working with Will Smith.
Yeah.
This is like 10 years ago. He was just like a really like just nice, like generally cool guy. Obviously, when I was on set with him, I was around him a lot because we were working inside, like in the city. Kind of the other part of the job too was kind of like walking him around to make sure, he had his security guy, but I had my guys with us as well. And just all the time being around him, he was always like, "Hey, what's up?" Talking to you, just really
That's nice to hear, right?
Yeah. He's a nice
got
guy.
Charisma too. Then some. What movie was that?
Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to hear. Okay, last one. What childhood movie made you want to work in film?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Star Wars? Goonies?
I like Star Wars. Yeah, that's good. I love Top Gun when I was a kid.
Yeah, who
So I would say
didn't?
Top Gun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
But I guess I want to be a pilot though. I don't want to work in movies on that one. But sure.
Well,
yeah.
Maverick makes it look so easy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, sorry, was real quick in this. Like, I never thought about working in movies.
Yeah.
That's why
never-
this is we're having this whole conversation is because it was not an option. It wasn't a path.
Yeah.
And I just fell into it. So.
Same. I mean, I grew up in a small town. I went to a small college. Like, I didn't know that there were accountants on movies. I had no idea.
Yeah. I didn't even know that there was incentive states where they were filming in Detroit, let alone these big blockbuster movies. So I guess when I was a kid, that I never thought about working in movies.
Because you didn't know it was an option for you.
Yes, especially growing up in Michigan and I was in Washington for like these places that it's not like here in LA where that it's just, my wife knew she wanted to work in TV her entire life.
Yeah. And because she grew up in LA and was just around it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Any last minute thoughts, advice for any of our listeners?
The only way I made to where I was at here in this industry is because I wasn't afraid to take a clerking job.
Yeah.
When I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't afraid to, after spending 12 years in the military and being deployed and everything, I wasn't afraid to just I'll take a security job. You never know where it's going to lead.
Yep. That's great advice. Take a chance, trust yourself, and learn. And
put your best effort forward because
Right.
you never know when you're going to be rewarded.
Yep. I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Brad. Appreciate you coming. If you have questions, want to hear anything from our next episode, feel free to reach out to us. You can subscribe to us at Cast and Crew Presents. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and we look forward to hearing from you.